magic makers, and welcome back to the Metaphysical Apothecary. We are your hosts, Shannon and Megan.
Hi, everyone.
Also known as the Scorpio Sisters, here to explore the mysterious, the magical, and the arcane.
Shannon and I were having an intriguing conversation the other week about superstition and how it plays into culture, it plays into psychology, and it plays into magic. There's so much to mine and sift through here.
This first part, we figured we'd concentrate on the broader strokes of superstition and the cultural superstitions that we may be living and following and perpetuating, whether they resonate with us or not, just because it's part of a tradition in your lineage, your spiritual magical practice, or in the place you live.
Exactly. There's a lot of superstition tied to folklore, and part of that is because it's tied to the spirituality of the culture that developed in that place, but also because the places where these cultural superstitions form are usually sacred or special in some way. They're called genius loci, place of sacred space. What we're talking about is the particular personality of these places when we're talking about superstition plus folklore. A really rich example of this is where I grew up in Western Pennsylvania in the Appalachian mountain range. The Alleghenies were the section where I grew up, but it's all part of Appalachia. And anyone who knows anything about these mountains understands how incredibly old and deeply both creepy and magical they are. The Appalachian Mountains are older than trees, and they're older than bones. They form before vertebrate creatures on this planet. That's why they're so low and rolling. It's because they're that old that they have had so much time to be worn down. What comes with this is a lot of opportunity for different cultures and different folklores to be kind of mixed together and become this really interesting tapestry of belief systems, a lot of which have to do with just minding your own business, because you don't need to know about the supernatural stuff around you. If you mess with that and get hurt, it is your fault. That is what I was taught growing up. Anyone who knows anything about the Appalachian Mountains knows that we have beings in these mountains called not deer. They're creatures. There's different kinds. People see different varieties, but they usually come out at night. And at first you think it's a deer, because why wouldn't it be a deer in the woods at night? And then you realize there's something wrong. Maybe its eyes are placed wrong. Maybe it has too many legs. Maybe it turns and looks at you with human intelligence, or maybe it gets up on its hind legs and crosses the street like it's going to go pick up a pack of cigarettes at 7-Eleven. In all of these cases, it is best to just let it do what it's going to do and mind your own business. This is part of the superstition and folklore that I grew up with. These beings are not necessarily dangerous, but they're incredibly mischievous. And mischief in terms of the supernatural can become dangerous for human beings because they don't always realize or care how breakable we are.
Mm-hmm.
There were lots of rules for me growing up, you could call superstitions, about things like going for a walk in the woods. You never go into the woods at night. If you hear any of the following in the woods, you are to turn around and go home immediately. Your name being called, no matter whose voice you think it is, a woman crying, a baby crying, or your own voice being used to speak to you. Mm-hmm. Just go home. Do not look around for the baby. Just go home. If you're looking for someone in the woods in that area of the country, in that strip of mountains, you don't go through calling their name. You just go look. And you go in groups. The groups number off. You check on each other constantly. You take a ton of flashlights and you flood the woods with light and activity so that anything that is there is like, oh crap, I'm out. This is too much noise for me. I'm not into this.
I actually had to implement those rules on a walk in broad daylight with Sam when we were at Lyco.
Lyco's very close to the Appalachians. I'm not surprised.
No, we were going up to our spot and we hung out there for a little while. We decided not to do the walk up because it was just the two of us, and obviously two people walking around, not the safest. So we were heading back and we were about a block away from that spot, and we heard a cry from where we just left. I heard a little boy cry. She heard a little girl cry. And I went, oh no, we're going home. We are not turning around. She's like, but there's a child that might be hurt. Like, if there's a child hurt, the parent will come out and help them. We cannot be here. We just left. There was no children around. We saw nobody. And if that is indeed a real child, there is a real adult nearby. We cannot be here. That is not an actual physical person. That is something trying to pull us back, and we do not go back.
Yep. She's been married to me long enough now that she would probably implement those rules, but at the time she was a novice.
Yeah.
Similarly, because of the nature of these mountains, you may run into things like gravestones, bones of an indeterminate nature, Bibles or other books lying on the ground, or strange markings on the trees. Leave all of these things alone. There's no need to investigate. I will investigate these things when I am in the woods and other places. I will not investigate them when I am in the Appalachian woods. It's not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Practically speaking, if you're talking about these things as superstitions, they're just safety rules, honestly. Going for a walk in the woods, if you hear something that is strange, like hearing a woman or a baby crying, those could be predator animals, or those could be foxes or mountain lions, or they could be something else. So partly they're born from a need to just implement safety, especially with younger people who are going into the woods to have some privacy. We've all been there.
Mm-hmm.
But it also stems from the culture of the place, because they have such a deep reputation for the mysterious and arcane happening in them, to the point where there are certain rules about not even looking outside at night. Once it starts to get dark, you close your curtains, you don't look outside. What is out there that might be looking back at you? None of your business. You hear a weird noise outside? If you smoke and you're outside having a cigarette at night and you hear a strange noise, just go inside.
It's time to put out that cigarette and go inside.
It's time to quit smoking. That's what it's time to do. There's also some strange things that my family has experienced. There are lots of these stories, but one of the ones that struck me was my grandparents regularly had a mountain lion appear on their property for several weeks. They lived on the top of a small mountain, so it would walk down from the woods to the top of their hill and across the gravel driveway right in front of their porch and down to the connecting woods down near the stream at the end of their yard.
Mm-hmm.
And when they told the game warden about this, the game warden said there are no mountain lions in that area. So what the hell was it? These are the reasons that those superstitions and rules exist in that area.
I am a city girl, although I prefer living in country and woods, but several of our other city dwelling relatives have always had some kind of property out in the woods in northeastern Pennsylvania. And instinctively, we did all of these rules without realizing that these were a set of rules within the Appalachia woods and forests and mountains. It is very safety oriented, but these are all things that we learned as soon as we stepped into a wooded area in northern Pennsylvania, and we're like, these are the things you do and do not do because it just doesn't seem smart, so don't do it. You don't go outside of the property line or don't go off the deck at night. And once you hear a weird noise, you come back inside. You don't know what that is and you don't want to know.
Exactly.
The first place that we visited that had that, they actually had a screened-in sunroom porch that you could get into either through the kitchen or through the front and back door, so you can get to the backyard and the front yard. And that's where you would hang out because insects. And you would hear something and be like, this is still technically outside. Let's go inside.
Yep.
The family I'm talking about is the family members. They were very observant and aware individuals. So they were very much, we love the woods. We city folk. We ain't stupid. Let's go inside. There's something out there. We have a bunch of little girls and wives, and we're not going there. We're done. Done. Night done. Everyone go to sleep.
Yep. That was part of it for the rules. It wasn't just mind your business. It was mind your business with a purpose. Go inside, eat some cereal. Literally, that was something that was part of the rule. Like, go inside, eat some cereal, go inside, have some cookies, go inside, take a shower, go inside, go to bed. It was always not just to go inside, but also to reoccupy your mind and refocus it on something completely mundane.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all we have on our topic for today. Thank you so much for listening in, and we hope you'll join us again soon. In the meantime, you can follow us for more witchy wisdom, both here and on our blog. And you can also check out our original art on Society 6 for sacred decor and more. Thanks again for joining us. Go make some magic and live your best life.
Bye.